You may already notice how the smallest things ripple outward into the biggest pictures. Because as you think of one little choice, brushing your teeth instead of skipping, you might begin to wonder how that one little choice leads to health, leads to confidence, leads to smiling more. And how smiling more leads to connecting with people. And how that connection could lead to a friendship, or a lover, or a business idea. And when you realise that, you can feel that every single small win is actually a hinge upon which the whole door of your future swings. And you don't have to believe this right now, because the truth is, you already live it. Imagine 10 years from now, one version of you never celebrates small wins. That you keeps waiting for the big success, the perfect moment, the miracle breakthrough. And 10 years later, that version feels stuck, heavy, resentful. They ask, where did the time go? Because when you don't honour those little sparks, you never ignite the fire. But another version celebrates every micro progress. And that version is magnetic. That version feels alive, creative, resilient. That version doesn't just succeed. They inspire whole families, workplaces, even communities. Because the energy of progress compounds. And right now, your unconscious knows which future it prefers to create. Think of humanity as one nervous system. What happens when billions of people minimize progress? Wars drag on. Innovation slows. Depression spreads. It's like the collective brain running on shame instead of dopamine. But what happens when billions celebrate tiny wins? Suddenly, cooperation multiplies. Ideas flow like synapses firing. Wars end. Not in one big treaty, but in millions of small agreements. And so, the very faith of our species rests on the exact same choice that you make in the morning. Do I celebrate or do I minimize? And isn't it funny? Because some part of you already knows the price of minimizing wins. The joyless treadmill of never feeling enough. The paralysis of perfectionism. The suffocating weight of waiting for something bigger. And your unconscious mind knows that every time you've done that, you've stolen momentum from yourself. And it whispers, never again. Now feel what happens when you do celebrate. You flood your brain with dopamine, literally wiring momentum. You begin to see progress everywhere, like a treasure hunt you're winning every day. You start giving that gift to others, kids, partners, colleagues. They rise with you. And all of this creates a spiral, upward, outward, unstoppable. And isn't it strange how as you imagine that spiral, you can feel it already beginning inside you now? Because as you're listening and noticing the images in your mind, you might already start to celebrate something small. Even the act of understanding this right now, and realise the more you celebrate, the more natural it becomes, until eventually it's automatic. And as you imagine the automatic future, you can also recall times you've already done this unconsciously. Smiling after tying your shoes, savouring that first sip of coffee, giving yourself credit after a tough conversation. Those moments were the universe training you for this exact realization. Now let me lay it on straight. If you don't do this, you're basically fucking yourself over. Not in a sexy way, in a slow, soul-draining way. That's karma. Ignore the atoms. You never get a star. But if you do this, if you treat every win like a miracle that it is, you become unstoppable, builder of galaxies, a force that no cynic, no hater, no fear can diminish. So let this truth settle deeper, like roots spreading underground. Because even if you forget the words, your unconscious will remember the pattern. Celebrate dopamine, momentum, exponential growth, new identity. And every time you breathe, you can unconsciously repeat that cycle until celebration becomes who you are. So from now on, every time you notice a small win, your unconscious will whisper, "This is the operating system of the universe. Align with it." And when you do, the ramifications echo out, not just in your life, but in your family, your culture, your species. Because celebrating progress isn't just a personal hack, it's a cosmic fucking law. And the fun part, every single moment from now on is another chance to practice it.